Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Sportscene. We kind of have a new format here in Sportscene from shows in the past. We like to call it Sportscene 2.0. I have four very talented panelists up there, very knowledgeable as well. We're going to talk about the hottest topics in sports, so you might want to unbutton that collar. It is going to get a little bit warm in here. So let's introduce you to those contestants here. First we got Tyrell, then we have Grant, Joey, and we got the beautiful Callie right next to him. We got a lot to talk about today, so let's get things started out quick. I'm going to go with you right away, Tyrell. You got that Big Ten jersey on. Let's talk about the Penn State scandal. What do you got for me?
Well, as we all know, Sandusky, he's under allegation right now. He came out and denied it the other day, I guess on NBC, I think, and he said he admitted taking showers with kids, but he said it was innocent fun, but I don't see how that can actually be innocent. There's nothing innocent about that topic. It's such a touchy issue, no pun intended, that like, how do you even talk about this? I don't know. I mean, Joe Pa getting fired, he didn't touch any kids, but he didn't do everything he could have, I guess. He could have went higher up the chain, I guess.
Yeah, and Joe Pa not doing enough is just something that he probably regrets. It's something that you want to, tell the police, and he did the right thing by telling the vice president and the athletic director, but he's just got to make sure that everyone goes through with their job.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's just pretty surprising that he would claim he's innocent with all those charges and then admit to horsing around. So, I don't know, that was kind of iffy for me. It was kind of an awkward interview with Brian Williams that he had. And yeah, Joe Paterno's got to go above and beyond his Call of Duty.
Yeah, the thing that really bothered me about this case, Sandusky had been around for 23 years, so I could see where Joe Pa was, and maybe the other people around Penn State were trying to protect him a little bit. The thing that really got me was that Sandusky actually opened a foundation called the Second Mile in 1977, and all of his alleged reported victims were all part of that foundation. So I thought that was really real sad that these kids are just coming for help, and then this is what's happening.
Yeah, and another thing that I found very weird is that Jerry Sandusky has 6 adopted kids, which you never know where that could come into play. So it's a very touchy subject, and you don't know what to think about it, really.
Hey, like you guys said, it's definitely an awful thing. It's awful what happened to these kids. What I want to ask you is, you touched on this a little bit, Tyrell, is Joe Paterno. He did nothing wrong legally. He did something wrong morally. Where do you guys think? Should he have been fired or no?
I know that's the hard issue, where it is.
Where do you draw that line?
And then what's okay? I don't know. Technically, like you said, he didn't do anything, but he also didn't do everything he could have. And he's there not only to coach football, but to mentor young adults and provide a place for them that they might not have had. A lot of those people on Penn State or any football team come from areas where we don't know their background, and that's supposed to be a safe place, and that doesn't comply with what it was going on under his staff, and he's the ultimate head of the staff.
Right, yeah, I mean, we could talk about this topic for the whole 30 minutes here, but we do have to move on here. Let's move from the guys in high school to the big boys. We'll talk about that Packer game we watched last night, a little Monday Night Football. I know we're not supposed to be biased on these shows, but gosh, I love the Pack. They're 9-0. What did you guys think of last night's win? We'll start with you, Grant.
I thought the Packers played great. They were being criticized about their defense, but they really stepped it up and showed that they are a great team and definitely a Super Bowl contender. And another thing I liked was Randall going on the Cobb. He did a great job. He had a good punt return. Of course, he did take a risk and he fumbled later in the game, but he made up for that with a great kick return later in the game also.
Yeah, I feel like the Packers, they take a lot of risks, especially on defense. Charles Woodson, a.k.a. Chuck, a.k.a. covers everything. He's going to take those risks, and, it comes with big rewards, and so does Aaron Rodgers when he throws it deep. And for us to hold Adrian Peterson to 100 yards and have a defense that's ranked 30th in the league play that well, I was really happy with the win. It was a test of our defense, and they did great.
Yeah, the defense was excellent. The thing I can't get over is Aaron Rodgers. His accuracy is unbelievable. The whole game, he was just threading the needle, and he was always on the money. The one play that sticks out to me was the third down catch, Donald Driver, just right over the defender's shoulders. It was beautiful. Rodgers, MVP. He's amazing.
That throw to Jennings when he just threaded the needle through 3 guys,
yeah,
past 4 fingertips.
Mm-hmm.
It was ridiculous.
That is one of the reasons why he's got the perfect passer rating. He's got it just going for him. He's got 72% completion on the season, can't ask for a better quarterback.
Yeah, his lowest QB rating was 114 this year.
Yeah,
That's
there's no doubt
unparalleled.
A-Raj, the Packers, they're definitely Super Bowl contenders, but I saw a couple of good things from the Vikings, and one sad thing. Sad thing about the Vikings is Jared Allen probably having his best season he's going to have there, and no one else is helping him. So you hate to see that for a player. Like, a lot of people don't like him because he's brash and he's loud and he's rowdy, but I kind of like that in an NFL superstar. But I did see one really good thing. I saw Ponder miss a throw, and he didn't hold it. He just didn't get down on himself. He just went back to work. He's got all the makings to be like the quarterback the Vikings haven't had, because they always get the old washed-up quarterback.
That's something I want to go back to. Sorry for cutting you off here, Tyrell. I want to go back to that 9-0 record that they currently have. A lot of analysts out there believe it is good for a team to lose a game. We all know what happened to the Patriots in 2008. Do you guys think the Pack needs to lose a game before the playoffs just so they know how to deal with it?
I don't. I think that they've been tested this year. From the first game when they squeaked by, and then last time we played the Vikings, they tested us, and now look at us now. We improved so much, and Christian Ponder is a lot better than he was 2 weeks ago, but we just showed him up.
I'm gonna have to agree with you also. I don't think they need to lose. I think they have Lions on Thanksgiving, which I believe is going to be their toughest game from here on out. Also the Bears. We have so many in-conference rivals that really put us to the test that I don't think we need to lose any games.
Yeah, and if we got Matt Flynn coming in with 9 minutes left in the game, just playing his part, and he even got to do the Lambeau Leap. They got a great team going for him.
It's nice to see that. I'm a big Matt Flynn supporter, love the guy, but we all know he's going to be starting somewhere next year. As a free agent, he's that good. But we do, unfortunately, have to move on. We could also talk about the Packers the whole show. I want to talk about a little Oregon-Stanford. Oregon went in. They were ranked number 7, I believe, into Stanford, who was number 4, and they were undefeated, and they knocked them off. Andrew Luck, Heisman hopeful, does have a loss on the year. How do you guys feel with that? We'll start with you, Callie.
Yeah, this puts a big blemish on Luck's Heisman hunt. He had 2 interceptions. He also threw for 271 yards and 3 touchdowns, but with college football, 1 loss just puts a big blemish on everything, and I was glad to see the upset. I'm a Ducks fan, so.
Me too. And LaMichael James, you can't stop him. He's insane. 3 touchdowns that night and snapping their 17-game winning streak. You can't win when you have 5 turnovers. They had 7 prior to that game, and it's just impossible to win unless you have Aaron Rodgers. Sorry to go back to it.
Yeah. Another thing that I liked is that it opened up the race for the Heisman. We could see Monty Ball up in the race now. Also, some more quarterbacks, maybe like Russell Wilson. It's just good to see some new teams stepping up and making plays.
One of those interceptions Luck threw, though, wasn't his fault if you watch the game, and hit his receiver right in the hands. And
Yeah.
he just dropped it. And then I saw Andrew Luck go over to that guy and pat him on the helmet and say, "It's all right, dude," because that was a freshman. So that's, he lost the game, but he's still learning a lot. He's going to be an unreal NFL player.
But there's no doubt about that. We all know Andrew Luck's going to be probably the number 1 pick to the Colts, who Peyton Manning said it was fine if they drafted him. Let's talk about Oregon here, though. They lost the 2nd week of the year against LSU, who is the best team in the country. We all saw that last weekend. Is Oregon that good, or did they just get a bad outlook at the beginning of the year, losing to LSU?
I think they got a bad outlook at the beginning of the year. I think right there beating Stanford, they proved themselves a lot, especially with the margin of victory, 53-30 winning. That's not just any defeat. You're showing some stuff. That's a big margin of victory.
All right, I got to cut you off one more time here, guys. We are kind of running a little long, so I'll keep things moving here. Let's go on to another upset here. We had TCU go into Boise State and upset the Broncos, on that blue turf, 36-35. It ends their bid for a perfect season as well. No national championship for them. What did you guys think about the game? We'll start with you, Joey.
It was pretty awesome. Casey Patchell threw for 5 touchdowns. I thought he looked great, including that game-winning 2-point conversion. I mean, when you have a quarterback who can throw 5 touchdowns, you're going to give him the ball in that situation and make a big win. They had to do something. It was basically down to who's going to make the last play.
Yeah, I really like TCU's coach Gary Patterson made that gutsy call at the end of the game, and instead of just going for the tie, he went for the win, and I always like to see that in football games. You're here to win, and I like to see that you win for it.
Yeah, definitely. Another thing is that they stopped a 35-game win streak at home and a 63-game win streak all together. So it's bad to see that. They got a little deja vu. They missed a field goal again to lose the game. So it's just something the team doesn't like to happen.
And it was just a 39-yard field goal, so.
Yeah, it was definitely a makeable field goal by him.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it all comes down to Boise State. They kind of have, they play in that conference right now where they don't have the competition, so they they're automatically the best and they know they're going to win it. And it seems like they always have a late season letdown because I don't think they're getting tested enough. And TCU, like you said, Gary Patterson, gutsy call. You got to like that out of a coach. So he's willing to just like risk it. And if you lose, I mean, he looks like the donkey out of it, you know.
Yeah, I agree with that 100% there, Tyrell. They're playing in a terrible conference, so they do need to blow people out to try to make it to the national championship game. While TCU was one of their better opponents on the year, probably the best they'll have all year, it's not a TCU team that we saw last year. They're not that good. That team with Andy Dalton that came in and beat the Badgers in the Rose Bowl. But we're going to have to move on once again. Let's start talking about a little basketball here, about something that I'm sure we're all sick of talking about, the NBA lockout. The players actually just rejected another deal, and Commissioner David Stern says that the NBA could be going into nuclear winter. What do you think about that, Grant?
Like you said, the players thought it was unfair. I as well thought it was unfair, but I would like to see an NBA season, and within the next 2 days it could even be canceled. So it's something that I would just like to see fixed, and I want to see some NBA instead of just some college hoops.
Yeah, I don't really care for the NBA personally, and I think that they need to take a year off to figure everything out because it seems like they're not going to agree on anything. I mean, they lost $300 million last year by 22 teams being in the red out of 30, so you got to figure something out to get some revenue, and this isn't helping at all.
For me, I just want to see him get it done. I'm sick of hearing about it. I'm sick of for me, it's the players arguing over money, this and that, and they're dealing with millions and millions of dollars here, but they need to take a look around at the real world, and I think they're doing pretty good. So just get it done and play basketball.
Yeah, it's like you said, nuclear winter. Like you said, what was it? 22 teams out of 30 missed out, are in the red, and like taking a year off is not going to help any of those people like make money. So all their fans, all their staff, like it's just a whole systematic failure by the NBA right now. And frankly, I don't see it getting fixed for a while. And I honestly don't care. I'd rather watch college basketball because they try.
Once again, I agree with you, Tyrell. I do like college basketball because there is defense and it's not just one-on-one all the time. But I'm surprised none of you noticed that term nuclear winter. It's a little dramatic for me. I don't look at it that much. I think that both sides know that they need to make money, and the only way to make money is by playing this year. The reason they're not getting it done is just simply because the players can't agree to what the owners want. But if you're the players, you got to look at the long term, so I think they're doing the right thing. But we are all out of time for right now, so let's take a look at some facts that makes UWL one of the top-rated colleges in Division III.
L-Fact. University of Wisconsin-La Crosse is ranked the #2 college in the Midwest.
UW-La Crosse is ranked number 34 for out-of-state students among public universities nationwide.
UW-La Crosse is ranked as one of the most military-friendly schools in the nation.
UW-La Crosse is number 24 among medium colleges and universities for Peace Corps volunteers.
Welcome back to Sportscene here. As you can see, we updated the scores. We got Tyrell on the bottom of the barrel with 12. Grant not much better with 14. Joey with 17. And Callie blowing those guys out with 23. So without further ado, let's get into our buy or sell portion of this segment. Right now, guys, I want to talk about Tim Tebow. Do you buy or sell him being a long-term success in the NFL?
I would sell him completely. I don't see him as an elite quarterback. He was 2 for 8. Yes, they're running the option, but that's more of a college or high school-based play. I don't see that being effective from 2 or 3 weeks from now.